When I was in 8th grade, basketball was the most important thing in my life. It was. That's what I loved. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I did, and I did it all the time. I was on my school's 8th grade basketball team. I also was on the local high school's JV basketball team, and I also traveled all over with a high school travel basketball team. I was short, but I was really good at two things. I was incredibly competitive and incredibly aggressive, and I was really good at distance shooting. I was really competitive and I was really aggressive because my older sister, Louise, was 2.5 years older than me, and I always played with her and her teams and her friends growing up. I would play with the older kids, I would play against boys in my neighborhood, and since I was younger and since I was short, I had to work really hard to keep up. After I realized I was keeping up, I started working even harder because I didn't want to just keep up, I wanted to be really good. And once I realized I was really good, I wanted to work even harder because I didn't want to be just keeping up or really good, I wanted to be the best. I was really aggressive, I was really competitive. I also was really good at distance shooting. Like I said, I was really short, I was younger than most of the people I played against, so they didn't take me seriously. So I would stand at the 3-point line and I would be open so I would get the ball, but no one would be guarding this short midget 8th grade child, so no one would guard me, so I would take the ball and I would shoot and I would make it. Then they would start to guard me and I would take a couple steps behind the 3-point line and I would shoot. And it would go in. I even made a bunch of half-court shots. The time was running out in the quarter and the half or whatever, and you get the ball and you throw it from wherever you are. I've made those a bunch of times. One time I made them so my team at a tournament could go to the semifinals. It was really exciting. I haven't gotten over it. So when I was in 8th grade, I was really good at basketball. And by the time I was in high school, I was very good. And I was going to play in college. I wasn't going to play at like UConn or Notre Dame or anything, so calm down, but I was going to play in college, and basketball was going to continue to be a part of my life for the foreseeable future. Until something happened. I got injured. Remember I told you how I was really aggressive and I was really competitive? Because of that, I got injured quite frequently, and I finally sustained a serious enough injury where I had to stop. After this injury, everything changed for me. I lost my aggression, I lost my competitiveness, I became tentative and nervous. The sport I loved began to scare me, and I realized I couldn't do it anymore. And with that, I felt my identity drifting away. Because I had put my identity in basketball. I put my identity in what I did, and what I did was play sports, be a jock, be an athlete. That's what I did, that's who I was, that was where my value, that was where my self-worth came in, and all of a sudden, I couldn't do that anymore, so I didn't know who I was. During this time, I was lost, I was confused, and I was very angry with God. Because I feel like he had given me this gift, and then he had taken it away from me. Like he didn't even care, that he wasn't even with me through this. I don't really know what this time of coronavirus is like for you, but you might be feeling angry. You might be feeling confused, you might be feeling lost. Maybe you've put your identity and your value and your self-worth in what you do. Maybe you put your identity in school or in sports or in theater or drama or any sort of activity, and now that you can't do that activity anymore, you're sort of feeling lost and confused because you don't really know who you are anymore. Maybe you were really looking forward to something. Maybe you were really looking forward to a competition, to an event, to a dance, to a party, and that's not there, and you're disappointed and you're angry and you don't know what you're looking forward to anymore. I know that's how I felt. I was confused, I was angry, I was frustrated, and I didn't know who I was. I felt like something inside of me had died, and I was always going to a funeral. I didn't know who I was, I didn't know where my life was going next, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know what was coming next. Let me tell you what happened next. Let's flash forward. I couldn't play basketball in college, so I went to a tiny college and I wasn't playing basketball and I was trying to make new friends and I was still angry and confused. One day in October, my university did this thing called Midnight Madness. Midnight Madness was this big event to celebrate the start of the basketball season for the guys team and the girls team. So it was like a big pep rally, it was a big party where the whole school went and there was competitions between the guys team and the girls teams and people in the stands and there were prizes. They even brought out like a hip hop artist. It was a super fun event, but it wasn't fun for me because I couldn't play basketball anymore. So I sat in the back of the stands and I was confused and I was angry and I was frustrated. I was especially angry when they had a half-court shot competition. Because half-court shots, that was my thing. I was able to make them all the time and I couldn't do it anymore. I wasn't playing. So I watched 10 guys from the guys' basketball team shoot a half-court shot. They all missed. 10 girls from the girls' basketball team shoot a shot. They all missed. They even brought 10 people from the stands to shoot a shot and they all missed. And the announcer, he gets on the loudspeaker, we're going to have one more person to shoot, and it's going to be you. And out of all these people, he picks me at the corner of the stands, the one who's angry and frustrated and confused, and he picks me. And I walk down the bleachers, and he hands me the basketball, and I take a couple dribbles, and I launch the ball through the air. And this is what happens next. In that moment, I really felt God speaking to me. As the ball was flying through the air, I felt him reach down and I felt him whisper in my ear and I felt him say to me, Maggie, I know you're going through a hard time right now. I know you're angry. I know you're feeling lost. You're feeling confused. You feel like you don't know who you are. But Maggie, I know who you are. Maggie, I love you. Your identity is in me and I have great things in store for you. And he meant it. And he means that for you. Through this time, you might be confused and lost and angry and frustrated. You might not even know who you are anymore, but God knows who you are. He calls you by name. He has claimed you as his own. He has good things in store for you.